How is everyone doing this evening?
Doing great.
Awesome. I know it's hot outside. Are you guys glad you're here? Great stuff, guys. For those who know me, my name is John Lam. I'll be one of your speakers this evening. And the way we get started is basically everyone here is in a different part of real estate, whether it be an agent, an investor, a lender, or so forth. So what we'd like to all right, also live your life, right?
Yeah, my name is Wally Fashodoro, and I'm an agent with Keller Williams in Fairfax. Also, trying to be a good investor and a private lender.
All right. All the above, right?
Hey.
My name is Gilbert Osei. This is my second time here, and I want to be a private investor.
All right. Great stuff. Thank you. Yeah.
My name is Susan, and my husband Ted. I am licensed realtor in Virginia, Maryland, and also a slam board.
Okay.
And but right now I'm focusing on private lending, so together we have some money to lend.
Okay.
So we've been doing that for the last couple of years.
Okay.
So looking for more deals to fund.
Okay.
Can be also equity partner.
Okay.
As long as it's feeling good.
Of course.
And we have the money to fund it.
Okay, great. So she has money to give away. Everyone know? Okay. You can get a pass you want. Okay, get out of jail free. Okay.
Hi, we're Kim and Lawrence Johnson, and we're from Cross Junction, Virginia, which is outside of Winchester, about 10 miles away from Berkeley Springs, about 22. We're real estate investors. We're interested in wholesaling and also rehabbing for flips.
All right, and you focus in Virginia or all around?
Virginia and like the Frederick, Maryland area, but
Frederick,
it would be Maryland on that side, not the DMV.
Not the DMV side. Okay, so straight north. Okay, right.
Hi, my name is Gina Oh. I'm a real estate agent from Fairfax Realty, and I was interested in the flipping houses, and I tried a couple times like a few years ago, and I couldn't flip it because I didn't make much money, and it was good because I did renter, and I'm getting good renter, so it's good, but then it's not what I wanted to do, and I guess I can learn from here what I did wrong and what I can do better.
Awesome.
So that's why I'm here.
Great stuff. Well, we all make mistakes, myself included. But the thing is getting back up and doing it again, right?
Yeah.
My name is Gene Gamble. I'm a realtor with Avery Hess. I'm also a boot camp alumni and part of the Fortune Homes team, rehabber, and I'm here looking for deals.
All right.
Hi, I'm JD Socek. I'm a real estate investor here in the Gainesville, Haymarket, Manassas area, and I hope that I don't leave here tonight without shaking each one of your hands and introducing myself and getting to know everybody, because it's all about networking.
All right, great stuff.
Hi, my name is Reggie Carr, business owner, also a KW agent also. I'm one of the old timers. I think I came to the first meeting or the second meeting, so about two plus years ago. Just came back looking for investment opportunities also, and just looking to get back in the groove of going to meetings and networking.
All right, so when he said old timer, he was here when there were no cookies. That's an upgrade, okay? So welcome back.
My name is Chase Lauderback. I'm actually an agent and investor from Ray, Virginia, and I'm looking to network and find deals.
Okay, anything in particular?
What's that?
Any location in particular?
Yeah, close to Luray, Stanley, maybe Harrisonburg or Front Royal Beach as far as I
Okay,
can
so
tell.
west off 81.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Good stuff.
Good evening,
Yeah,
everybody.
around there, right?
That's a little ways off too. My name is John Malatesta. I don't know if I'm quite a old timer, but I've been here for quite a while. But we are property management in Fairfax with the property management company for the group here. Also personally an investor, been doing it since about 2006. Haven't seen it all, but I've seen a lot, so always here to help in any endeavor or anything you might need.
All right, good stuff.
Hey everyone, my name is Kurt Morton. I'm a realtor with Fairfax Realty for about 10 years in Northern Virginia. Past 5, I've been focusing on working with investors. I help investors locate properties to flip, as well as help them through the renovation process with making good recommendations and helping them sell it once it's completed. I have also done flips myself. I have rental properties. I also do some private lending as well. So a resource for you guys if you need help. Happy to talk to you.
All the above, right?
Yep.
No, you know the stage, right?
My name is Joseph Coyle. This is my first time here. My day job is Director of Finance for Mantech, which is a defense contractor in the area. I'm an avid real estate investor. I've bought 12 properties since 2003. A lot of them that I've house hacked or had roommates in with me and just moved along. I currently live in Lake Manassas. We had a big house, and then if it's rented, they pay the mortgage. I have another house that we have on the housing voucher program, where the government pays the rent. That's pretty nice. And then have another property here in Piedmont that's rented, and own commercial real estate here in Gainesville, and I'm looking to purchase more commercial real estate.
Awesome. So what do you think of Mantech?
What's that?
So what do you think of Mantech?
What do I think of it?
What do you think of Mantech?
Yeah.
I would say
Very close.
Very close.
It is.
Great stuff.
Good evening, my name is Carl Lowley. I run a wealth management practice at Merrill Lynch. I'm actually here on behalf of two of my clients. One of them has some properties he's trying to unload, so I'm hoping to talk to some investors about that. And another one that's trying to get in, and I'm doing some homework for him.
Okay. Any particular location where they want to unload?
Yeah, there's 6 properties. 4 are in Fairfax County and 2 are in Orange. And there's 4 single-family houses and 2 townhouses.
Okay. You guys got that? The guy with the striped tie, okay? And a good haircut. Yes, sir.
Hi, Bob Nichols. I'm focused on doing rehabs. I live in Manassas and marketing, looking for distressed properties in Prince William, Fairfax, and also Prince George. Just finished up a rehab in Silver Springs, so I'm looking for the next one. Look forward to meeting any wholesalers, or I want to go see what these properties are about.
That's why I said it. Our DJ?
My name is Nick Small, and I'm a rehabber and landlord.
Okay. We're going to choose you guys later. Is that okay? No, there's slides first. Okay. So for those who don't know me again, my name is Jan. I'll be one of your speakers today. So for those, my background is that I was doing all the right things growing up. I got my bachelor's degree in aerospace engineering. I got my master's degree in aerospace engineering, just in case the bachelor's didn't work out. And I chose aerospace engineering because at that point in time, I thought the key to success was to be smart. So I chose the hardest engineering field there was available in the university I attended. But I realized really quickly on that being smart is not everything, right? In fact, what would you rather say? I am smart, or I is a millionaire?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Maybe you guys can get that. Let's try that again. I am smart, or I is a millionaire, right? Second one, thank you very much. Okay, you get a bonus later, okay? But really, when I started real estate about 6 years ago, I started off part-time. I was still an IT project manager for the federal government. I worked at Homeland Security, I worked at defense, I worked at FCC. In the agency, I was probably there, all right? And the only Jan Lam working there as well, because they have a very unique name. But I realized that, the commute, when my wife was pregnant with our 5th child, I realized that my commute from Haymarket to DC was no longer feasible. It just didn't make sense anymore because we just have a lot of kids, a lot of stuff that's going on. So I really worked hard to be able to get about 12 or 13 deals done in a short time, 2.5 years on a part-time basis. And with that, I was able to leave my full-time job, and now I'm doing this full-time ever since then, spending more time as a father and a husband more than a business person. So that's the kind of lifestyle I believe that the American dream should be able to afford everybody. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. And so I know Kim here, she lives in our community. She wonders why I see her everywhere because I'm all out and about everywhere, seeing cars as a car magnet, right? But anyway, so today we'll go through, every month we have a different topic month to month. Today's topic is how to find money to do your deals, all right? Two reasons why people avoid doing real estate. Number one, they can't find a deal, and number two, they can't find the money. So we're going to address the money problem tonight. Once you leave tonight, you should know how to find the money. Is that fair? Okay? So we'll go through a couple of things, all right? So a sophisticated investor, we'll go through, there's amateur investors and there's sophisticated investors, okay? You got to have a certain mindset when you do any type of business or any type of investment. So a sophisticated investor, what they're thinking, what is a good cash-on-cash return on your investment in real estate? Traditionally, if you're not doing real estate, what is a good return when you invest in something? Can anyone say? What percent? Is it 5%? Is that a good return? It's more than your savings account, right? Is that a good return? Yes or no? No? Okay, how about 10%? Is that a good return? It's better?
For the typical investor.
For a typical investor, yes, better, right? How about 25%? I'm going too crazy there. I remember one of my sons who attended Babbitt High School. He attended an economics class, I forgot the teacher's name. They were teaching the basics of economics on what a good return on investment is in the stock market. I said, well, what is a good return? He said 25% was what his teacher said. I showed him a couple of things online. Calculate the numbers, because he was good at math. Okay, calculate the numbers, the numerator and denominator, what's the return on investment? 225% in 1 week. So I told him, when you take advice from people who don't know what they're doing, that's what you get. So be careful who you take your advice from. Does that make sense, guys? But for me, even 25% is not good enough. Guess what a good enough number is? Not a number at all. Infinite return. It's a Greek symbol. Okay? Infinite return means you earn money, whether you have money in the deal or not. Is that a good return? Absolutely. Okay? How? OPM. What's OPM stand for? Other people's money. Not the Office of Personal Manager. Okay? All right. So types of OPM, we got hard money, we got private investors, we got equity partners, we got conventional loans, we got seller financing, and we've got your personal equity, such as your HELOC, your 401k, or self-directed IRA. Okay, so then, and then of course cash is what? Cash is king, right? So all these different ways, all these different concepts are different types of other people's money. All right? So hard money, we'll go through what hard money is. This is the bulk of what you can do if you're going to do rehabbing, or you can do buy and hold. When you buy, you renovate, refinance, and rent out, you can use hard money. Hard money is the easiest thing to get access to because it's not hard. It's called hard money because it's backed by a hard asset. That's why it's called hard. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay? So hard money is not hard to get. All you gotta do is have an asset that's backed with the collateral, and you will have a certain loan amount, and then you raise your money on your down payment later on. So to go through what hard money is all about, we have the #1 hard money lender in the DC metropolitan area. In fact, they got their accolade just this past year. All right? They've done a lot of loans with us. They've done a lot of loans with our students and within our meetup. And so they can close very fast as well, just like cash. So to go through what hard money is all about, we have Mr. Jared from Washington Capital Partners. Give him a warm welcome and give him a round of applause, guys. Thank you very much. And Thunder as well.
Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
All right, let's see here.
Oh, I got to switch over for you guys.
Switch over.
No. I know you just see your face.
I mean, who doesn't? So I love giving these talks about money, primarily because there's so big of a misnomer around it, right? I think that money in people's minds is a big barrier because they feel like they can't find it, right? The most important things in real estate investing are finding access to properties, finding the money, and having a good contractor. And the reality is that finding the money is the easiest part of that. There's a lot of bad contractors out there, and finding the deals are increasingly more difficult in this age with lower inventory and everything. So I love being able to give these talks and just educate people on some of the access to money that's out there that they might not have otherwise known about. So just jumping into this, my name is Jared Fosnot, Director of Sales at Washington Capital Partners. We are the largest hard money lenders in DC. My partner Gunnar is on my sales team. I won't bore you with my background. I have a development background, also an attorney. Jumped over to the lending side of the industry recently and have not looked back. Love the business, very scalable. So, Jan kind of already touched on this. Generally, what is hard money? Again, it is debt as opposed to equity that is secured against hard assets, so real estate. So in our asset class, we care less about an individual's credit worthiness, their individual financials. That's the beauty of hard money lending. It fills a gap in the financing world, where you have kind of traditional lenders, right, that bank institutions that are looking at your credit and your financials pretty heavily, as opposed to the numbers of the deal itself. So we really like to focus on the actual numbers of the asset And what I mean by that are purchase price, renovation costs, and after renovated value. So that's the beauty of this. This is both commercial and residential properties that we touch. That says 100,000, we're really doing 50,000 all the way up to $5 million properties. So there's no reason why you should not be able to have money to do a deal. We're currently lending in Washington, Northern Virginia, and DC, and Maryland, excuse me, all the way from north of Baltimore down to Fredericksburg, and then also the Virginia Beach area. So again, I imagine that probably touches most of the geographical area you guys are in. So that definitely helps there. Just to kind of get into our loan programs, we've got a couple of different specialties that we can help with. If you're here because you want to flip properties, fix and flip, as they call it, we have a couple of different products. So one, just purely acquisition funds. In this day and age, obviously we all know how hard it is to tie up a property, right? You're dealing with a room full of other investors that are bidding on these. You know, we've seen, especially on the MLS, but also on off-market channels, 10, 20 people bidding on one property. Anybody who's been doing this long enough knows how hard it is. So the beauty of acquisition money is it just allows you to quickly tie up a deal and then figure out with your contractor later, what's the total scope of the project going to be, and we can address that separately. So we're generally doing 75 to 80% of the purchase price on that. For construction, that's the traditional fix and flip loan. So it's both purchase and construction. You see our rates there. We're doing 12-month loans. We're doing 10 to 12% interest, 2 to 4 points generally. We have a one-time fee, $1,040 commitment fee that covers an attorney cost. Also covers the appraisal. Although we don't need an appraisal to actually close, we do want to get one at some point. So the main metrics that we're focused on are 65% loan to value and 80% loan to cost. And that will determine what the loan amount is. So for the purpose of this, hard money is great. Obviously, you are going to want to have some cash in reserves or be able to work with potentially like a private lender who could be a gap to fill that down payment. And so, again, we're doing up to 65% loan to value. That's calculated based on your after renovated value. So if the property's going to sell for $200,000, you multiply that by 0.65. For the loan to cost, that's calculated by taking the purchase price plus the renovation cost and multiplying by 0.8. So that's how you come up with a loan for the short math, and we can give you some more materials on that. We're typically doing 100% of the construction cost, right? So your total loan includes 100% of the construction in there that is funded in draws. So the remainder of that goes towards the purchase price. So part of our money goes towards the purchase price, part of your down payment covers the rest of the purchase price, and then we can cover 100% of the construction. So prior to closing, we're going to map out the draw schedule, and you guys are all going to be on the same page with us so that we know how to properly work with your contractors and everybody's happy so that we're not holding up the project. And again, this is for gut renovations, this is for aesthetic renovations. Really, we're just talking prior to you locking up a deal and saying, okay, we think the scope is going to be this. This is going to be, this is going to be what I want to do on this particular project, and walking through those numbers with myself or Gunnar. And that's usually, a very informal process. You'll just email one of us with a property that you're looking at. We can provide proof of funds letter so that you can include that with your offer. And for any clients, any realtors here, that's something that you guys can have as a tool in your toolbox to be able to present to client investors. And so that will help tie up the deal. And then we're going to review the deals internally and just figure out, based on those metrics there, what the total loan is going to be and the terms. And we'll send that back in an email. Again, pretty informal. Once we've actually agreed to terms, then we'll send you a term sheet and we'll be locked in. So pretty simple process. couple other important parts of our loan programs. We do refinancing. If you already have a property that you own, maybe you're an experienced investor and you've already been doing these. Maybe you just put it on market or something, and you've done this all cash. We can actually extract that cash for you, so you can have that as a down payment for your next deal. So if the down payment on a deal you're currently looking at is $50K, and your current property has a sizable amount of equity, I don't know, say $200,000, and we can do 50% of that, you're getting $100K out of that. That gives you more leverage to be able to just put gasoline on your whole business and just blow it up. You can really, really accelerate the growth of your business through this process. So really the biggest thing we're focused on is just making sure it's not an owner-occupied property. So couldn't do it with your primary residence, but we can do it with any kind of investment property, including those with tenants there. So finally, transactional funding. This is what's called wholesalers financing. Any of those folks out there that are doing wholesales, this is really great, especially if you're doing stuff on market, right? If you're locking up on market properties. This is really nice because those contracts are generally going to have a non-assignability contract clause in it, so you're not going to be able to assign it and get around it. And so what this essentially allows you to do is have a double closing. So we would fund 100% of the cost to purchase the property on the first transaction. There'd be no money out of your pocket as a wholesaler. You would have the second buyer, the end buyer, lined up. It would be the closing would both occur at the same title company, and you would have a significant chunk of the down payment or the purchase price from that second buyer in escrow of the title company. So you make sure that you don't have them walk away on you. Did you have questions?
Yeah, so how are your fees different on the transactional funding versus the regular flip?
Yeah, the beauty of that is it's literally, if it's done right, the transactional funding, it's 24 hours. That should be what it is. You close simultaneously on the same day, not simultaneously, but you have a double closing on the same day. And it's generally, we're generally charging a point or two.
Okay.
And the interest rate doesn't really matter because it's 24 hours.
Right.
So even if it's 20%, which is not, it's relatively cheap. So we would do 10%, but it's nominal. So and that fee comes out of the difference between those two purchase prices, right? So the price that you put the contract, the property under contract for, and then the end buyer's purchase price. So this isn't money coming out of your pockets. Let's see. So how are we different? There are a good number of hard money lenders in the DC area. Obviously, I already mentioned one, which is we're the largest. We're very stable at this point. We've built up our business with partnerships in Wall Street and some hedge funds that we've developed relationships with. So we have pretty much infinite access to capital. Quick closings, we really pride ourselves on that. We generally tell people 24 to 48 hours. And we've done stuff as quickly as 6 hours before assuming title's clear. So again, when you're out there beating the streets, trying to take on all these other investors and put a property under contract, you want to be able to close that fast, because that's going to be an edge for you in working with the seller. You can say, I'll have this property closed this week. There's no way the other guys or gals going to be able to compete with that. So really big there on the quickness of close. Competitive rates. At this point, I feel comfortable saying we're on the much cheaper side of the spectrum. Obviously, private lending and hard money lending is a little different. Not knocking at it all, that's great. There's absolutely a space for private lending for folks who have a little bit of money and they want to, a couple $1 million or what have you, and they want to lend it out. But at some point that dries up. I mean, at some point, unless you have credit lines, you're going to run out of capital. So we love working with private lenders to be able to accomplish it and really get your leverage to 100%. So you have, as little money in the deal as possible. Lending experience, we're all operators. I flip houses personally. All of my colleagues flip houses. So we really see this as not just somebody that you go to like a bank, it's so informal relationship. We really want to build a strong relationship with you all, that you can come to us with questions about, construction questions even. I mean, I'm going to be able to answer that. All of my colleagues are going to be able to answer that. We've been there. I've had money stolen from me. I mean, every single thing that you could imagine that's gone wrong has gone wrong in some of the jobs. So, we can be a good sounding board for you guys to bounce ideas off of. What's current as far as trends in, interiors and things like that to, good, what is our feedback in the street as far as certain contractors? Obviously, from the lender's vantage point, you see pretty much everybody. You see all the investors and you see all the contractors. So you get to know and you pick up who is good and who's bad. Flexibility in structuring deals, I gave you kind of the basic terms. If we're close to those terms, we can work with you. Jan has always said and really pushed the idea of negotiation with even your partners also, and that's important. You got to keep everybody on their toes, including your partners, and that means trying to get the best rate that you can and the best down payment that you can. So we're willing to work with you on that. Off-market opportunities for sale. I'm really excited about this because there's no other lenders that are doing this. We have a subsidiary part of our business. It's branded separate. It's called Great DC Deals. And we actually sell 5 to 10 deals a month off-market through wholesale channels. So this is great for those that are trying to find deals. We'll grab your information, we'll exchange cards after this, and we'll have you on the list. So
click a couple buttons here and there.
Yeah. You'll be set. And the beautiful part about that is there's a user-facing website that you can check out anytime, real time. And obviously when we're having open houses and things like that, we'll send you, if you're on the distribution list, we'll send you emails. So, and that's really nice. We're looking to expand that. So any wholesalers in the room that want to do co-wholesaling, this is something that we've kind of pursued in the past pretty heavily. We actually used to sell all of Express Home Buyers properties, so we were selling, something like 30 deals a month for them. They've since parted ways, but we have that market experience of being kind of like an outside sales team. So it was full staff of people. We would handle all the marketing, handle open houses. Again, properties would be shown on the website as well as email marketing. We have probably 5,000 to 6,000 investors now in our network. So we can easily market your deals. If you're looking to get into wholesaling and you want to just focus on finding the deals and have somebody as a partner to sell them, we would do that at probably a pretty low flat fee. So we could, we're open to it. We would negotiate. And again, local expertise. We all live locally. I live on Columbia Pike in Arlington.
I live in Falls Church City.
Yep, so very local. We do deals in Maryland, DC, Virginia. So definitely a great resource for you. I'm going to leave you guys with WCP success story. This is really, we obviously can't take full credit for this. This is, a big deal for Jan. And I just want to plug, his boot camping. His boot camp series that he has. It's tremendous. I've been there for probably the last, 4 or 5, and the information is always changing. It's always better. There's so many success stories that have come out of it. This is a particular gentleman who came out of the boot camp. He, just to run through the numbers on this, this was a 275 buys in Alexandria, so pretty tough area to find deals. He found one in Alexandria, little Cape Cod. He, if I remember correctly, we actually lent on this deal also. We lent $45,000. He came up, he ended up having several surprises. If I remember correctly, there was like a water main issue, which, oh my gosh, I would have lost my mind if that happened to me. The county, the Fairfax County didn't want to pay it even though it was on them, and just one of those horror stories, but he got through it. He threw, through having the right contacts and the right contractors, he was able to work that out. It only ended up costing him $5,000. So he ended up with fixed costs of $55,000, and he ended up selling it for $415,000. So in talking to him, I'm pretty sure he was in the 50 range on his profit. So I mean, these are beautiful. You can do X number of these a year. How quickly could you get out of your current 95? I mean, it's awesome. So the loan that we did for him here, you can see was $260. It included, that $260 included the $45K of construction, because that was his original budget, right? At closing, you pull that out, you hold that $45K back, because that's done in draws. So we funded $215. He came with $82,300 plus closing costs, and he made a little over $50K. So he put in $82,000. He got out, I think it was like $55, something like that. So that's almost 100% cash on cash return. Again, even though he put his own money in there, say he had leveraged it, kind of like Jan was talking about, and it was a private lender's money as opposed to his, that would be infinite return. But even still, it was close to 100% return on your money. So again, forget about the stock market. Equities are overpriced anyways right now. This is the place to be.
Merrill Lynch.
This is absolutely the place to be. And we'd love to help you get there and grow your own businesses. We've got some information here that I passed out to a couple of spots that I saw people stuff. But if you haven't gotten something, I'll definitely give you the flyer. It has our marketing information in it, and our contact info. But I'll open up the floor if anybody has any questions. Happy to kind of dive into this. I'd love to talk market and generally and stuff, but we'll be around afterwards to talk more. And we'll give you kind of our take on what we're seeing these days.
You were saying you closed in 6 hours?
We closed in 6 hours. Yeah.
Even if you have the cat, from my experience anyway, even if you have the cash, it seems like sometimes the attorneys take like a week to do a title search and all that stuff. How do you get by that?
Yeah. So granted, the title was clear.
Oh, so they already did all that.
Somebody came to us with the title were clear that day, that morning, and then after we had closed it. Yes. But to answer your question, it's finding the right title company, and there's no perfect answer for that. Our experience as a lender, we do so many closings that we really try to spread it out, because when you're overloading one title company, it's inevitably going to end in disaster. But yeah, I found smaller shops that really focus on you, really care about your business is a good way to go. There's a couple of really good attorneys out there that do title work that we have. So we can talk off air, and I'm happy to give you some more of that info. But yeah, that's really good to do it. Find somebody who's going to care about your business.
I'd be curious, your experience, and Jan as well. So the double closings, have you run into any situations where the first closing had the parties required it to be titled and cleared before they would go to the second closing?
Yeah, so that's a really good question, especially in certain counties like Prince George's County, where the recording takes sometimes a while. Mm-hmm. Usually if the title company is given enough notice that this is going to be occurring, that this transfer is happening, given that they have the HUD, they can use that. Even if it's technically not recorded, so long as they have the HUD and it's going to be in line to be recorded, our experience has been that title companies will allow that to move forward. But I have run into that as an issue. So talk to your title company beforehand. You don't want to find out, at the 11th hour. That's a great question.
Any other questions? Okay, guys, give a round of applause. Thank you very much, guys. I'll figure it out. Okay, thank you very much. All right, guys, was that helpful? It's always good to see how an actual lender operates, so that way, when you approach them to do business, you know what to expect, and also they know what to expect from you as well. There you go. All right. So a couple of things, I'll piggyback on what Jared said. So you guys shared the success story for the Alexandria property. The good thing about that investor who came for our boot camp, yes, he used $80,000 of his money, but he's not an agent, he's not a contractor. He hired a general contractor, someone within our network. He wasn't there every day. All he did was choose the layout and choose the finishes, and then he was working on his full-time job about 60 hours a week. So he wasn't managing it every single day, but still, he made roughly $50,000 not being there as much. So that's a system in our boot camp, and what our boot camps teach is a system for you to have a life, but also make money through leverage. Does that make sense? Okay? To piggyback on transactional funding, I love transactional funding, because sometimes you get a really good deal, and you have opportunities to either rehab yourself or sell to another investor who's willing to pay more for it because they didn't spend money on marketing time to get that deal. A good example, we had a property in Southeast DC. All right, we bought it as a short sale for $131,000. And because of the short sale, we had to hold title to it for at least 30 days before we sold it. Well, we sold it for $215 30 days after we bought it. And we funded it through Washington Capital Partners 100%. And all we did was pay closing costs, which is a few $1,000. And then we got money back after we sold for $215. All right? No work was done to the property. I didn't even bother turning utilities on. Okay? So no work was done. All we did was find a deal. We negotiated the heck out of it because of the short sale and found another investor who was willing to pay more for it because they didn't have their pipeline was dry and they were hungry for a deal. So instead of earning $50,000, they were willing to earn only $40,000 or $30,000 because they didn't have anything in the pipeline. Does that make sense? So it's a helping type of business. Some people have a pipeline full. Some people have a pipeline empty. The question is how motivated they are, and we can help each other and do business together in that fashion. Does that make sense to everybody? So that's transactional funding, assuming that you cannot assign a contract like a wholesaler. Short sales and foreclosure generally are not allowed to be assigned, so you have to buy it and then close it and then sell it again through double closings as what Jared already mentioned. All right, does that make sense? Is that exciting? All right, better than a full-time job, right? That's how you meant it. All right, so in addition to hard money, okay, for me, I always love the idea of creative financing so I can earn infinite return. If I have the ability and the skill to do that, I can do as many deals as I want. Would you agree? And that's what we want to have the ability to do, not be tied up because of our own resources. We want to have the skill to do as many as we want. So the down payment, all right, in addition to hard money, you can go ahead and find private investors out there who are willing to loan you some money to fund the renovation and the down payment as long as the numbers make sense. So a couple of things. What is this? These are cash flow people who knows you, who likes you, and who trust you. How many know people that like you? Come on. Or trust you, right? So if they know and like and trust you, they should be able to do business with you, okay? Sometimes it's not your family. Would you agree? Okay. All right. So where does this money come from? So other people, whether they have cash or liquid saving, or maybe they have home equity, or maybe they have access to a retirement account, they can get access to capital that way. The pros for this kind of money is that it's cash equivalent. It can be available fast, depending on how they get set up. There's no credit or appraisal, and you can negotiate rates, okay? And the cons are, sometimes private investors are weary and they don't have a lien on the property, so a couple things you can do. You can have it recorded, so that way they have a second deed of trust on the property, or you can have it unsecured if they know and they trust you a lot. Does that make sense? For example, I don't have a lien for my own mother, okay? My own mother trusts me, I hope. So you have to have those situations. You can save money while I have to record things in the county and pay for all that stuff in taxes, okay? Sell the deal, so the private investors do secure. So a couple of things. If people have money in their savings account today, what's the average annual percentage yield?
0.02.
Point what?
0.02.
Even with Fed increasing their interest rates twice? That's amazing, right? I was generous. I put 1%. For number 6, okay? But would they rather earn 1% in their savings account, or would they rather earn 69% loaning it to you, secured by the real estate? Right? That's a 600 to 900% increase from a generous 1%. Okay? Home equity. How much are HELOCs nowadays? Probably between 4 and 5%, depending on your credit score. Right? So if you borrow the money from your equity of your primary residence, let's say you get $100,000 out and you pay 4%, or let's say you pay 5%, and you loan it out for 6-9%, are you winning? Absolutely. Okay? It's called printing money out of thin air legally. You being the bank. Okay? Banks take money for a reason, you can be the bank as well. Retirement accounts, so people who are in the federal government, they have a thrift savings plan, or people who have a regular 401k, like in Merrill Lynch, you can get a loan on your 401k, generally up to 50% of the value of your 401k. Is that about right? That's about right. Okay. And so let's say you have $100,000 in there, you get a $50,000 loan. Generally, you pay interest back to yourself through your payroll deduction or through if you have a job. So generally, I've seen 4 or 5%. So if you pay yourself 4 to 5% for getting your loan from your retirement account, and you earn 6 to 9, are you winning? Absolutely. Plus, you're still paying the 4 to 5% back to yourself. Isn't that great? So, and then we have equity partners. Okay. I believe someone here wants an equity partner, right? So if you have money to be an equity partner, what is this? This is cash for people who still know and like you, but they want skin, they want part of the action, all right? So they're not going to loan you the money and earn an APR anymore. They want to be involved in your deal and probably want to be involved in your decision making if they have experience of rehab, okay? So the good things about this is also cash equivalent. It can be available fast, no credit, no appraisal, and generally you can fund all acquisition and funding. So for example, we have a deal in Haymarket. It's on Tucson Court, okay? I'm a partner with 2 other people. I have $0 in it, okay? The reason why is because they were my equity partners. They provided the funding for that deal, and I was still a partner with them providing value in the renovation process to get the deal completed and get it sold, okay? So the cons is that the overall project cost will cost you more, and we will most likely leave you a percent profit sharing. So in other words, if I split the profits 33 between 3 people, that's less money that I can work from the deal than if I borrowed it at a straight annual percentage, which means I take on all the risk. Does that make sense? As a partner, all 3 of us took on all the risk. And if you guys have ever worked with partners before, sometimes it could be a headache. Would you agree? Okay. And honestly, we're going to make some money there, but when I look back, was it worth it? I don't know. Okay, but if you have no money in it, it's an infinite return on investment. Okay, so that's a good deal. Conventional loans, all right, I want you to know what this is. It's a traditional mortgage from a traditional bank. Generally, we like to use community banks. Reason why is because they can overlook certain things because they're local. You can talk to the vice president, you can talk about certain things and make exceptions, all right? I've known a couple of investors who recently modified their mortgage, so they had some delinquencies on the credit. That wasn't an issue. So there's a lot of things you can work around because they're local and they're community. So the good thing is that they're generally cheaper than hard money. I've seen as low as 4.5% to 5%, but they generally will not fund the acquisition, they fund the renovation unless you have a second loan, like a 2 or 3K loan or something like that. Depending on the bank, they sometimes may not fund the property if the condition is very bad. They also need to do a credit check and still need to do an appraisal because they are a bank. Okay? Loans take long to approve, so instead of closing 6 hours, it may take 3 weeks because they're waiting for the appraisal. All right? Sometimes they get a certified appraisal or a BPO agent, or they do what's called a desktop appraisal from their office just to see the property's value based on what's going on there. And also makes them offer not as strong because it's no longer cash equivalent. When you have a deal that's distressed, they want cash offers that close like yesterday. So that's how you get bigger discounts by using cash equivalent loans versus conventional loans. Make sense? But if you have time and the seller is not as motivated to close quickly, you may want to go this route to save some money. Seller financing. I love this. What is this all about? It's when the seller decides to be the bank and you don't have to get a loan yourself. Is that good? Absolutely, right? So the pros is generally cheaper because you can negotiate with the homeowner. Okay? There's usually no credit checks because the homeowner is not a bank. Would you agree? In addition to that, you can easily negotiate with them, especially if they're just regular owners. All right? Because they instead of earning $100,000 from selling the house, they now have the potential maybe to earn $110,000 over a 2-year period by earning 5% interest. Okay? Cons, it's hard to find a seller who's willing to do this because most people need cash today. Okay? Down payment and renovation costs will not be funded and need to be raised elsewhere. So a couple of things. For example, I'm working with a seller right now in Woodbridge. He has 20 rental properties, and he's willing to do seller finance because it reduces his capital gains over year after year. So we're going to pay off each loan that we have with them in a specific way where his tax liability remains advantageous for him and his goals. Does that make sense? So if you understand some of these tax advantages, and they do as well, then you can reach a mutual benefit agreement through seller finance. So that way they reduce their tax liability while you don't have to raise this much money. Okay? I'll have an example. I was sharing it earlier. Someone overheard me. Someone's eavesdropping earlier, right? We have 3 deals in Woodbridge right now where the property value is probably worth about $200, $225. There's already tenants inside renting out for the past decade or so. And I can easily, it's worth 200, 225, but they accepted offer 150. You're the 150, when we buy it, we'll get 75% from a conventional lender because it's a rental property. 25% of it, we funded through the seller via seller finance. Because I know it's going to be worth 200, 225, within 6 months, I'm going to refinance it out with a regular mortgage, pay him off, and he's out of the picture altogether. The great thing about that is that the only thing I pay up front is the closing cost for the acquisition. But now I have 3 new rental properties that's cash flowing and turnkey with no vacancy. Good deal, right? Okay? I love doing stuff and getting deals for free. I'm all about getting stuff for free. Okay? When I mean say free, I mean no money out of my pocket, as little money as possible out of my own pocket. All right? Okay. Personal equity. If you have personal equity, you can use this. Some people say, well, I don't have the money. Well, Bill Gates once said, never undervalue how much you're worth. And what he means by that is that people, believe it or not, are worth more than they think. Is that right, Merrill Lynch? They're worth more than they think. So never undervalue how much you think you're worth. So take a look at what you got right now. Do you have access to cash, home equity, lines of credit, retirement accounts? If you have a good FICO score, you're probably getting good lines of credit. Okay? Pros, it's easy to negotiate with yourself. Right? At least I hope so. Just look in the mirror. Cons, your return on investment goes down, you use your own equity. You limit yourself on the number of deals that you can do. But that's okay. If you have access to capital, you can still do that if it's easier for you to get started. At least you're getting started doing something versus nothing. Does that make sense? Some important skills that you want to have as a real estate investor. You have to have the ability to assess value. You got to know how much things are going to be worth after you finish renovating it. Okay? You got to see that. You have to have a vision of what's going to look like after it's done. You have to have the ability to raise capital. Real estate is most important in raising capital. Okay? You have to have the ability to negotiate. I like to say the number one rule about negotiating is that it never hurts to ask. Would you agree? I sometimes embarrass my wife by asking random things at Walmart or Target. I ask. All right? I'll say, do you guys have a military discount? I'm not military now, but do you have one? Do you have a senior citizen discount? Do you have a good look discount? Not me, but my wife. Whatever. Right? Whatever. I'm asking, I'm practicing the ability to have a thick skin to ask regardless. And sometimes the managers are so funny, they'll give you something angry. Right? Because I made their day. Charmer, there you go. Everyone can be a charmer, right? Your ability to negotiate. Your ability to build a win-win relationship. Everyone's tuned into the same exact radio station. It's called WIIFM. What's in it for me? Right? So when you talk to someone, and I'm talking to Mr. Wally, I want to be able to make sure that he wins at the same time that I'm winning. I don't want a win-lose relationship, right? So because then why is it ever work with me ever again? I want to share the same core values with them with integrity to make sure everyone's making money as well. Your integrity is important. When I say integrity, I'm not saying about being honest or lying or things like that. I'm saying about doing the right thing when it means the most. Does that make sense? And generosity. I've always believed when you give more, you get more. So when things go well, my main agent, Mr. Kurt Warren back there, I give him bonuses as an agent because when things go well, he did a good job, he gets a bonus. When things don't go well, he gives me a discount. Because in business, there's always ups and downs, right? So when things go bad, we cry together. When things are great, we party together. So that's how the relationship works, and we stick in it with it through the long haul. Does that make sense? If things go bad for you and people leave you, that's a sign of bad core values, and you probably don't want to do business with them again. Okay? All right. So here's a couple of examples. I just shared the concept and the theory, and now I'll just share a couple of examples. Here's a house that we did in Vienna. All right. So real quick, we bought it for $390. Okay. And here's the HUD. Back then was still a HUD. So here's your number that you guys want to take notice to. The construction escrow that Jerry was talking about was how that was $40,000. Okay. The cash that we had to bring to the closing table was $51,000. All right. So here's how the numbers work. The renovation was $70,000. The construction draw that was held back that's going to be funded through the lender was $40,000, and the cash I need to bring to closing was roughly $51,000. I held the property for 3 months. With the interest, the taxes, the utilities, and any HOA costs, it's roughly $12,000. So total funding required was roughly $93,000 to complete the deal from beginning to end. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Where did this money come from? Where should it come from? What's that? Somebody else, exactly. We raised the money, we got $93,000. We eventually sold it 3 months later for $569 with the $8,000 subsidy. So we netted about $563 or so. Okay? And here are the numbers on the HUD after resale. So when it was closing, we had about $146,000 in closing. Okay, and here's how someone worked with the company profit and losses. Cash at closing received was $146,000. We repaid our private investor $19,000. We gave him 10% interest, which was roughly $2,300. Whatever's remaining is the profit, $50,000. Was that good or bad? That's good. Absolutely, right? So what's the percent ROI on this profit?
Infinite.
Infinite. That's right. Okay. So no money was risked of your own personal assets in this deal. Okay. How long did it take to realize this profit? 3 months. You calculate it out, it's roughly $16,000 per month. And we were not in the property every day. All we did was find the property, put our contractor there, and have our agent sell it. My primary responsibility is finding the deal and finding the money. Sounds like a very simple approach, right? But that's all I do all day long. I don't pick up a hammer. I don't do open houses. I don't do anything agent related. I just find the deal, find the money, and that's it. How many of you do that? 2 things. It's pretty simple, right? Find a deal, find the money. That's all you gotta do, okay?
Do you have a company with a non-design and construction LLC?
Do I have a, I'm sorry, say that again?
Do you have a company with non-design
Jan?
and construction LLC?
No, I hope not.
I
I don't do construction.
bought a house.
Oh, really?
Actually, the house was built and remodeled, then made a lot of money. I thought I figured out that.
So it was Jan Lam Construction LLC?
Young construction design. That's all with you.
Oh, okay. No, definitely not. Definitely not me. I don't do construction. That's imposter. That's awesome. I didn't realize that my name was up there. I should go ahead and call them in and ask for a license on my name. All right, so based on that scenario, how many deals can you do simultaneously? What are the limits? Anyone else? Infinite. The possibilities are limitless. You can do as many as you want. Okay? When things were, when you do a lot of deals, of course, it involves supervision. You have to supervise and choose finishes and choose the layout and things like that. So it involves a lot of supervision, but you're not doing the actual work. You're managing your asset and you're managing your project. Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You don't have to answer. How much money do you make every year?
How much money do you want to make every year? Depends on the business.
Now you're like a 12 part.
Well, we do roughly about 9 to 12 deals a year when it comes to rehabbing. We average about $50,000 per deal. But sometimes we wholesale them as well. Depends on how busy we are. If, for example, if the deal, for example, is in Montgomery County, I may not want to drive there to manage that, so I may sell it off to another investor who lives nearby. So all depends. Okay? I can tell you how many kids I got. That's fine. More, right? So for those who are on Facebook, I'm not on Facebook Watch, but if you're on Facebook, make sure you like our page so that way we get updates on what we have available. Facebook at fortunehomes.com/fortunehometeam. Okay? We have a boot camp coming up in a couple months on a wholesale. So in this one, wholesale is the best way to get started if you haven't done a deal yet. We teach you how to find a deal. We teach you how to negotiate a deal. We teach you how to sell the deal through our network. Okay? We average about $10,000 per deal, but the great thing about that is that you don't buy a single thing. All you're doing is having a contract, and you're selling the contract for a fee. Anywhere in Virginia, DC, or Maryland, it is legal. Some states in this country are illegal, but in this local area, it is still legal to do this. Okay? We also get access to all of our templates and access to our preferred vendors, such as our lawyers, such as you need to transactional funding, our contacts there, contractors, and so forth. Okay? So I have down here get access to preferred vendors twice. You guys want to know why? Because I think it's very important. I've had the unfortunate experience of using the wrong people, and it's cost me time, it's cost me money. So in the last 6.5 years or so, I've developed a network that I can personally count on, which I'm willing to give to you guys, so you guys don't have to go through what I went through and some of the deals that went sour and went bad because of the bad people. Okay. Food and refreshments always, how much is that? $7.99. All right. Refund after you do a deal with us. So it's like getting a free training. All right. Most other people will get you in at a hotel space for free, and then they train you at a boot camp for the weekend, and then they go ahead and sell you what I call the Big Mama class. That's what I'm talking about. And guys, how many have ever got advertisement in the mail before on how you're going to a free workshop? All right. Name a couple of companies you guys received it from.
Elite Legacy.
Elite Legacy.
Robert Allen back in the day.
Back in the day, well, there's Rich Dad, there's Dave Lindell, there's a couple other ones, right? But all you do is they charge you a fee for the weekend, and most of the weekend they're going to confuse the heck out of you, while making it seem like they're giving you value. So that way, you feel the need to register for their mentoring program, which costs between $10,000 to $120,000 depending on your package. Right? We don't do that. So what you see is what you get. $7.99, you don't pay anything else afterwards. And once you go to the class, you will know how to wholesale. There's no gimmicks afterwards. Okay? To register or get more information, go to our website, fortunehomesteam.com. And next month, our topic is going to be how to rehab for big profits. So same place, second Wednesday of the month, all right? Same time, in the same location. We're going to go through that topic, and we'll have a lot of different examples on those who actually were in our group that have done rehab, so you can see some live examples. We more like a panel discussion for you to ask questions on how they did everything, okay? Any questions before we close up this evening? Sure, if you want to, make sure you give my business card, email me, and I'll go ahead and honor the request. Okay? Okay, guys, well, appreciate you guys. If you guys want to register, get more information, make sure you get the flyers at my wife's desk, or actually, now Pascal is already handing out. And I'll be here for a little bit. Make sure you guys get a chance to meet everybody in this room, network, exchange business cards, and do more business. Thank you very much, guys.
Hey, good, how are you? How's it going? Pretty good, how have you been? Busy? Yeah, pretty busy. You seem like you're sounding low up there, or how is it working anyway? I mean, generally, yeah, it's a little bit worried, nothing so yeah.